Arsenal to use Thomas Partey to convince Mohamed Kudus to join the Gunners at the Emirates. Secondly, we are going to talk about Tomiyasu in deep. Yahoo Japan giving us an update on the groin injury that is really affecting the fitness of Tomiyasu and his World Cup playing time, because even today he has been put on the bench of Japan. Then next we are talking about the guy who is responsible for the injuries in the Premier League. He has an entire website, and his main aim is to go on and really inquire and really tell us what your favorite players and their injuries are all about. Welcome to Rokani Media Football, second video of the day. How are you guys, and where you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share, and guys, continue to subscribe, because we hit 8,000 subscribers, and I believe by the end of this month we can hit 10,000 subscribers, and obviously enter 2023 in the club of 10k subscribers. Not so. Yesterday I brought you a story of Mohamed Kudus linked to a side which goes by names of Arsenal, and finally we've got a story coming in from Ghana. That is Ghana. I think Ghana Soccer Head, they're reporting a story that Arsenal is wanting to use Thomas Partey to convince Mohamed Kudus to come to their club, and obviously this is what the story is reading. Arsenal will use Thomas Partey to sign fellow countryman Mohamed Kudus. Arsenal have used same approach before after Bukayo Saka played a role in the arrival of Aaron Ramsdale to Arsenal AFC. So that is what Ghana SoccerNet is really telling us, and obviously he's telling us that Arsenal are going to use Thomas Partey to sign Mohamed Kudus. I told you yesterday in this story of Mohamed Kudus that if I'm to look at Mohamed Kudus, he's really a perfect player to come in at Arsenal. Why? He plays good as a right attack midfielder, and is left-footed. Arsenal have been in search of a player of such quality for so long. That's why they rented Rafinha. But the difference in this Mohamed Kudus player with Rafinha is, for him, he plays in all four positions of the attacking midfield. He can play as a center attack midfielder where Odegaard plays. He can play as a left attack midfielder where Martinelli and Emile Smith Rowe play. He can play as a right attack midfielder where Bukayo Saka plays. And obviously he can play as a false 9, because at Ajax I've seen him being used a lot as a false number 9 at that club. So it shows you that Mohamed Kudus is really a player that Mikel Arteta is in need of. And obviously using Thomas Partey to go on and really convince him is what we call using agent Partey, and we don't know whether agent Partey is really going to go ahead and really get this job done. But according to how African players like to come in and play at a club which goes by names of Arsenal, I believe they are really on point, and they really want to go on and really come in and play at Arsenal. I think it will be an easy job for Thomas Partey if at all it's being given to him, because Mohamed Kudus, having put up a very good performance at Ajax, and right now he's playing or orchestrating the same form at the World Cup, obviously he would like to go out and find another huge club to sign him, not even in the summer, but in the January transfer window. I believe that's what he will be wanting. So, because at the World Cup, he has 3 goal involvements, 1 assist and 2 goals. That is really something great. And I believe in the game of Portugal, he would have done a lot in the game of football, but he was played out of position. I believe the best position for him, for Ghana, is to play as a right attacking midfielder and get Jordan Ayew play as a left attacking midfielder, Ayew playing as a central attacking midfielder, and then another player to lead the line for a team which goes by the name of Ghana. I believe Ghana now has a lot of quality up front, and they look like they complement themselves a lot. And Mohamed Kudus went ahead to really show the manager that, please, if at all you are to really put me into this side like you did in the game of South Korea, then I'll come out and really give you goals. And his positioning is really great. The way he runs with that far post is really great. The 2 goals he scored, even the second one of him, that was the third of Ghana, that gave them the win, is really great. So I believe he ticks all boxes for Mikel Arteta, that he's a player very young. I think he's 20 years of age. That is a player who goes by the names of Mohamed Kudus, and he is really wanting that move. And Thomas Partey is being used to convince this player to join a side which goes by the names of Arsenal. But when you look at Arsenal, Arsenal has a very good track record with African players. African players like Nwankwo Kanu were really great. Laurent Maya, Eboué, Kolo Touré, Adebayo was a success at Arsenal. That's why they sold him close to £35 million to Man City. Which other African player was at Arsenal? Songo Bilong played a very huge role at Arsenal. You see, Aubameyang was really on the high. The other African player, Javinho, was really high. I think the only African player that really came in at Arsenal and they bought him highly, that is Nicola Pepe, is the one that has really come out and really disappointed. But the rest of the players at Arsenal have been going on to do the needful. Even Thomas Partey, now one of the African players at the Arsenal team, obviously doing great for a side which goes by the names of Arsenal. So Arsenal is using Thomas Partey to go on and do the needful and convince a player who goes by the names of Mohamed Kudus to go on and join them. But they are telling us that first to mention Liverpool are watching Kudus also. Obviously, very many teams are really watching Kudus, and I'm going to go on and really tell you another team. I think it's Barcelona, because its president has come out with a report and confirmed that Barcelona are really watching out on this player. And I believe Arsenal employing the tool of Thomas Partey to go on and convince a player in the names of Mohamed Kudus to go on and join them is really great, and it's one of those that will go out and really be wanting to see happening to your team. So Mohamed Kudus to a team which goes by names of Arsenal. Obviously, Thomas Partey is being employed to convince him to sign for Arsenal, and I believe that race, if Arsenal goes there genuinely, they'll win it. They'll win it because Thomas Partey will do the needful. Because you don't see very many Liverpool players. There is no Liverpool player in the Ghana team, no Barcelona player in the Ghana team. And obviously, when you look at the success with African players at Barcelona, it's really alarming. If I told Mohamed Kudus will call Samuel Eto'o, who is the most successful player, who is the most African successful player at Barcelona, I believe he will tell him that don't go to Barcelona. They are racists. They discriminate. You saw what they did to me at my peak. They sold me to Inter Milan because they wanted to pave way to Lionel Messi. That's it. And it said that the reason as to why he was sold, the other reason was that he was nearing the record, or breaking the record of the all-time goal scorer of Barcelona, and they never wanted an African man to go on and do it. So Samuel Eto'o will never give Mohamed Kudus advice to go to Barcelona. And between Liverpool and Arsenal, he'll tell him choose any of those because it's okay. African players are welcomed at Liverpool, and the same applies to Arsenal. Remember, Samuel Eto'o gave Mohamed Salah a very good advice. By the time he wanted to go all out and run his contract down at Liverpool and go out to another team to get him a lot of money, he told him that you're a foreign player, you're playing for the Whites, you have the chance, you are at the top of your game, everyone is talking about you, you're one of the best players in the world. Take the money that Liverpool is putting on your table. Don't request for £500,000 a week, because very few players will get it. And if I told you are white, they would have given you that money. But no, you're an African player. And obviously go ahead and really put pen to paper, because you've been successful at Liverpool. Work a lot on being a legend at Liverpool than going outside anywhere, any team like Real Madrid or PSG or Barcelona, because they are not going to respect you like how you've been respected at Liverpool. And I think Mohamed Salah looked through it, because he saw the same thing happen to Coutinho. Philippe Coutinho left Liverpool. By the time he was one of the best central attack midfielders, he went to Barcelona, everything flopped off him, went loan to Bayern Munich, and guess where he is right now? He is at Aston Villa. You see how bad it is, and when he looked through that, he said, all right, let me keep my tabs at Liverpool, and almost put it, and obviously put pen to paper on his new contract. So I think Mohamed Kudus should get his phone and really contact Samuel Eto'o, the football president of the Cameroon FA that runs the football game in Cameroon. So I believe Mohamed Kudus should go on and do that, because that's the best of him, and I believe him going to Arsenal will be the best thing. Now Thomas Partey has gone ahead and really spoken out on his performances with Ghana and the recent criticism. Most people will surely expect more from me, but we are playing as a team. I listen to the coach and look to do what he asked me to correctly do, that he will be happy. So I want fans to know that there are things you come out and really intervene that you're not supposed to go all out and intervene because you are less concerned about this business of football. One, a manager deploys Thomas Partey to go on and play as a single pivot. And this is something I called out for ever since when they lost in the game of Portugal, because I saw Thomas Partey being played in a role that he is not helping out Ghana a lot. And you saw him when he was playing a double pivot and he was playing there very well. Everyone was so much impressed, and I believe he played very well according to me. And I'm asking myself why people are coming out to criticize Thomas Partey. That is what Thomas Partey gets you. That's what he gets you, and he has to play in the orders of the coach. And I believe he is not doing anything wrong to go out and really put himself into a position of really running the show as far as the manager really needs him to go on and do. And people criticizing him should know that there is no criticism that is going to go on Thomas Partey if at all Ghana goes through to the next round. And I think they're playing Uruguay, and I think they can shock Uruguay. The only thing they're supposed to go on and do is to see to it that defense improves. Partey did his job, but look at the goals Ghana conceded. They are speed goals, and this defense couldn't go all out and really help defend and keep a clean sheet for Ghana. Those goals are really stupid. And if at all they are to go on and accept such crosses to come in through, the likes of Cavani are really good at the ball. Luis Suarez can come in and really bag in a hat-trick in that game of football. So Ghana needs to go on and do the default. I believe Thomas Partey did the shielding of the back four, and they have nothing to really request from him. No goal that Ghana conceded, even against Portugal, that came out of Thomas Partey's mistake. No way. No way. The defense was really playing badly to an extent that they couldn't go out to stop these crosses. So they need to improve on the way they're defending, and obviously they shouldn't go all out and put the blame on Partey. Then Partey could have said in the end, you know, you can do something better, but you need to stick to what the team wants and not the individual. I'm doing my best. And the game of football has changed. Way back in the 2000s, the early 2000s, a player used to go on and use his individual brilliancy to drive the team forward. But nowadays, the team has changed. The game of football has changed. It's all about the teamwork. He says, I would have wanted to go on and do something better that can reach my levels of performance, but I have to stick to what the team wants. You get? Because if you go in the Ronaldo way, then the team will suffer because of your decisions that you've taken that are really selfish. So Partey finds himself selfless, doing the commandments of the manager that really gives him when he's going to go onto that field of play. Not so get to know Thomas Partey is doing things that the manager is telling him to do, not things that you want him to do. So people by them might be comparing him to play like how he plays at Arsenal, and they would call for him to go out and play in the same way he plays for Arsenal at Ghana. That is impossible. Look at the quality behind him. Sorry, all behind him, all in front of him. When you're having Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes behind you, and Zinchenko with Ben White, that is a lot of quality. You cannot compare that back line to the back line of Ghana. Look at Odegaard and Xhaka playing alongside him. Who of those midfielders in Ghana who play with Thomas Partey is at the level of Xhaka and Odegaard? That's it. So don't think that a player can play the same way he plays for the national team. He plays for the club like the way he plays for the national team, unless otherwise you are really having quality alongside yourself. So people, don't criticize Thomas Partey a lot. Now, we've been told by Yahoo Japan about what Tomiyasu's problem was, that Tomiyasu on his growing issues, the pain is fine. That's what he said. I can do it. I want to get the power we have. Tomiyasu has been in full training with Japan squad and expected to be ready for the match against Spain. Tomiyasu had a problem with his groin versus Germany, but unfortunately he has not made the starting 11. He has again been played onto the bench. I believe he's one of those players that they are missing. When he came in the game of Germany, stability showcased itself in the back four of Japan, but right now things are not going the way they are supposed to be going. Reason being, Tomiyasu is really injured, and in like 10 minutes only, Spain is ahead of Japan by 1 goal to nil, scored by Alvaro Morata. In every game, Alvaro Morata has gone ahead to score all those goals. But we are having We are having Ben Dinari. He's been one of the specialists in knowing what the injuries Premier League players are suffering from and their return dates. He has told us via Give Me Sport that the concern with Tomiyasu is that he's had an ongoing muscular problem for over the last 12 months or so. The worry with regards to him is exacerbating that problem, unfortunately, for Arsenal fans. In there for you, it's very unfortunate that he's really having that injury, and so does that Arsenal, they won't want to see him suffer another major setback that could keep him out for a long time. So when you look at Tomiyasu, I will feel for him. He's still young, but these injuries are really taking a lot of him. But I believe it takes the physios of Arsenal to go on and get this done. As they did to Emily Smith-Rowe, and he underwent a surgery, let Tomiyasu undergo a surgery at Arsenal. That's it. The only good thing they're having is that Ben White is not an injury-prone player. You get? So, what does it mean? If Tomiyasu goes for surgery, it will keep him like for 2, 3, or 4 months. That will call for Arsenal to go in and bring in another central defender to play for a side which goes better for Arsenal, because people have been seeing Tomiyasu as one of those players that can pivot into the central defense. If at all maybe Saliba or Gabriel Magalhaes gets an injury, all else he plays as a right back and Ben White plays as a central defender. And his departure, if at all he's injured or is going to undergo surgery, leaves Ben White with a backup of Cedric Soares, which is not bad, though it's not at the level of Tomiyasu. Then the central defense is left hanging with one player, because they'll be having only 3 central defenders. That is Rob Holding, Gabriel Magalhaes, and Saliba. That will call for Arsenal to go on and sign in more players, especially into that central defense, to see to it that they reinforce it. And I believe this is why Arteta wanted to go on and sign Lisandro Martinez from Ajax, but Lisandro Martinez chose Manchester United over Arsenal. And obviously, that leaves Arsenal in a very vulnerable state, because Tomiyasu is one of those players that Mikel Arteta trusts a lot. What shows you that Arteta trusts this guy a lot? When Kieran Tierney is fit, you would expect him to start in the big game of Liverpool. Guess who he went for? He went for a player who goes by the names of Tomiyasu to play that side. And when Zinchenko is available, Kieran Tierney doesn't play, meaning that the days of Kieran Tierney at Arsenal are numbered, and maybe the manager is falling out with him and wants him out of the club. So it looks like Arsenal needs more backup staff into the backline, all into its backline. So guys, thank you very much for watching in. Tell me what you think about Partey to convince Kudus to join Arsenal. Then Tomiyasu's injury updates, and obviously something concerning Thomas Partey being criticized by the Ghanaians, who really see that he's not performing to the A level where they expect him to be performing. Rokani David is my name. A sign out for now. See you later. I hand you over in the blessed almighty hands of the Lord to keep you safe throughout. Bye bye for now.